Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right, and welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
That's right, baby. We back. Bar Talk with Jay in the building, making it happen.
Yes,
and who I got next to me that went with me last week? Oh my God, it's Craft Matic in the building.
The one and only.
Man.
What a time away, man. It was a major learning curve. For those of you who don't know, my father is going through a health issue, and I had to go home and love up on him a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And you just learn a lot about the people who you are already so close to. You know what I mean?
And you know, I already know, man, my love goes out to Pops.
Yeah.
Pops, if you're listening, you know, nothing but love from the Bar Talk with Jay show. It's not just about the show, it's about you. Without your son, I mean, I wouldn't be complete. I mean, my man holds me down, and when he had to be there for you, it was nothing but love. And I promise you, we could have took the show and been around you. We'll all put our arms around you, and the show just would have been about you, Pops.
Man, that's awesome.
I would be
That's
there all
awesome.
day
I think
long.
he's listening right now.
I hope
so,
he is. I hope he is, because again, if he didn't do the things he did with your mama,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be with me now, partner. See, he thought about this and didn't know he didn't know what he was
He didn't
doing.
even know what he was doing.
But
That's
before
what
I get in trouble,
Yes,
we
sir.
got Barbara from Macon, Georgia, holding down the line, Macon, Georgia. Speak up, Barbara.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today?
What did I tell
We
about that
doing
last
good.
time taking so long to say something?
We
Say
do-
something.
We doing good, Barbara. We doing good, ma'am. And you been doing well?
Well, you know, it's kind of hard to hear you. It's kind of hard to hear you, so I'm doing the best that I can.
Oh.
I also would like to say God receives the glory of the show that we do, and I am so happy that He brings us together in order to give to our audience a magnificent show,
Yes.
and that He gives us all the things that we need, and everybody just needs to make a goal, follow us, and plan us on.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Zach, I need to give a short little prayer real quick.
Yeah.
All I can say is, Lord, bless everybody that comes to the show and listens to the show. And Father, continue to bless everybody in their lives. Continue to give grace and hold everybody strong at dark times. Again, this is why I have the people that I have around me. It's not like I have to pick the best. I got to pick people that's willing to understand that His word is more powerful than man's.
Yes.
So please, pay attention, because what's going on right now is just a facade. You need to get into your books, study deep, and believe.
Absolutely.
In Jesus'
Absolutely.
name, oh man.
Amen. Woo. Well, I might have to call you the good Reverend.
No. I try to tell Kraft, go ahead, take that part. He gonna say, no, it's in the script for you. And be like, everything that's written don't have to be.
Listen, this is Bar Talk with Jay, and this is our effort as regular folk to try and be leaders in our own community and to try and help people to overcome life's hurdles. Most of the hurdles that we face are not necessarily on the outside, they are on the inside.
Oh, yes.
That means we have to face ourselves, and we need to begin to understand ourselves better so that we can grow in how we make decisions. We can grow in developing clearer goals and better dreams and more attainable aspirations for ourselves. So this show is just about nurturing your spirit. Jay and I have a conversation on these topics. We're hoping that you value from them. We're hoping that you get some seeds of information that helps you become a better decision maker, or maybe help you just to become a little more aggressive in your own life, because that's what it really takes. It takes positive attitude, and it takes action, and action means aggression. Go and get what you want. Go and have what you want to have, because this life is full of great things, and we're supposed to have it all. We're really supposed to have it
There
all,
you go.
Jay, you know. So again, you know, doing what we do, let's just recap last week's show.
Oh, you know, you gotta get in on this, because, you know, you wasn't here.
All right,
And my man Phil didn't get a chance to make it in the building yet.
he coming.
Well, yeah, he is always. You know, everybody want to be this, that, or a different kind of time.
I wasn't here, but I heard the show.
Yeah!
As a matter of fact, I participated in
Yes,
the
you
show,
did. Yes,
and
you
I
did.
recall making some comments about the subject. What we talked about last week, folks, was should you disclose your sexual health history with your partner? When is the right time, early or later on in the relationship? And it was a very interesting topic.
Yes, it was. Now, you know something that's real strange. I got a guest came in tonight, and she's not going to get on the mic. She ain't going to say anything.
Okay.
But she's a doctor.
Okay.
So, I know this topic right here hits home for her because
Yes,
Lord
it
knows she studies all day.
Right?
So again, you know, I didn't invite her to bring her on the mic, but I definitely wanted to hear what we talk about because it is a concern.
Yeah.
And one of the things we said, if you're about to have sex or talk about sex, you need to disclose some things.
Absolutely.
And give a person an opportunity. And again, I know she ain't going to chime in, but
yeah, you know, I was a big proponent that you just got to be careful. It's important that if you're going to share information, that you know who you're sharing information with.
I totally agree with that.
You don't put heavy information into the hands of a lightweight. Right?
Ooh, look at you. You know, using a boxing ring like that.
No, that's just
you trying to knock him out.
No, that's just
TK
terminology.
coming up next, bro. TK coming up next.
So I think it's important that you share, but I think what we ultimately came to is that everybody believes the conversation needs to happen, but nobody's having it.
That is true.
And I'm in my middle years of life, and I may have had the conversation twice. And but I'm always attentive, and that's what another important thing we talked about. You've just got to be aware of who you're with. If you know that the person who you are about to talk to or in a newly relationship with, you know that they've been with a certain guy who may have had certain sex health troubles, then you got to be a thinker. You know, you got to make some clear decisions, and sometimes you got to push away fun to protect yourself and to protect your life. So, yeah, we all agree we have to have the discussions, but it's not happening, and we'd like for it to happen more. But in my opinion, I don't think there's any way to measure it. I don't think there's any way to gauge it because you're not going to get access to those conversations, privy to those conversations.
Now, also, I got to remind you, if you're not trying to have sex, because, you know, sometimes you friend zone people, then don't entertain that conversation, and that's not even where you're trying to go.
Right.
So a lot of times, you want to know a lot of information on a person. I don't think you want to know about their sexual history, and that's not what you really anticipating y'all going to be. If it's a friend, you don't need to know all this business.
Right.
And that's why you said people need to be able to handle. Also, don't play with. Because if you're asking me these things, I'm thinking we're about to go to that other level.
Yes.
And if that's not where we're going, then why are you asking me?
Right.
You know,
because they
your nosy behind about to get something else besides nosy.
Because they just want to know.
You might find out something else they're playing.
They can tell
keep on asking.
Somebody else.
Why everybody walking around with a smile that you with? Come on, keep on playing. You'll find out.
What happened?
You want me to tell you? I tell you. Oh, anyway, it ain't all about me. It ain't all about me. It's about the conversation we need y'all to have. And again, I think it was a great dialogue.
Great dialogue.
Man, yes. we went in on it. We went around the world because I had other guests in the building.
Yeah, it got heated in the conversation toward the end, man. And I got to go back and listen to some of those dialogues again. They're very interesting, folks. If you missed the show, you're more than welcome to go back and watch it. We are all over the place. If you just Google Bar Talk with Jay, that's WITHJAY. If you just Google it, our website will come up, and you can go to our website, watch the show from there. You can go to Facebook, you can go to YouTube. There's Periscope, there's iTunes,
SoundCloud.
There's SoundCloud.
iTunes.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're all over the place. So we are most certainly available for those who want to participate in this show. So please check it out. Yes. To disclose your sexual health history.
I'm telling you, if you're on Facebook, leave us a quote. Definitely share, like. But if you put something down, we got somebody behind the board that I'll be more than happy to get him to start giving us some of that feedback in between the breaks.
Yes.
So
yes.
We try to do big things.
Absolutely. Let's go to a quote for the day.
Okay.
I like this quote too. One of the best lessons you can learn in life is to master how to remain calm.
You know, we talked about this.
Yes, we spent
I told you, I had some issues.
And some words I might use to describe that would be patience, right? Would be think before you act,
yes.
Right? Never react, always respond. It's a great quote, and I think it is probably one of the greatest challenges to mankind. Mankind responds to the outer. And responds to the outer with an outer expression, and you very rarely see a man who can stand calm. I remember being in a restaurant a couple of months ago, and we ordered food, and everybody's food came out but mine. For whatever reason, I don't know. It was late night. It was, club, a lot of music, a lot of dancing going all around between the tables. And so they didn't bring my food, and everybody at the table with me started wondering what's wrong with me. Because I didn't complain. I didn't gripe or nothing. I'm always in divine order. That's how I live my life, right? Everything is always in divine order. And so I'm just listening and watching. I'm hungry, but I'm not going to say anything because I know the Lord's doing all this perfect work, right? Mm-hmm. So about 3/4 into the evening, somebody brought me my meal out of nowhere. Listen, I had already made plans to go somewhere else and have dinner, right? It wasn't even going to sweat it. I wasn't going to bother the night. But they were expecting me to be upset. They were expecting me to be mad and stomping the table and talking to people, and I don't operate that way. Right. I let things flow as they should. And so it takes real inner strength to be able to do that. And we need, that's something we can build. If you don't have inner strength, you can build it. Don't think that just because you don't have much patience right now, that it's not something that you can grow in. You can grow in it. I always recommend asking the Lord for patience first, and then there's some other ways. You got to first quiet your mind. You're never going to be able to practice inner strength with a mind that's confused and all over the place. So meditation might be one of those ways to help. I think we've done the quote for today. Let me just take just a moment, Jay.
Let me jump in real quick, because I gotta let you jump on, because I be needing help. Because I would act a fool. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I'm straight fool. Y'all knew I ordered my food, and I'm sitting there watching everybody else eat.
Right.
And ain't nobody brought me my food. Right. And ain't nobody brought me no excuse.
Right.
And ain't nobody brought me an apology.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Kraft, I gotta work on what you're talking about. Oh, past upset.
Really?
Because I'm like, hold on, I'm paying for it.
Right.
So I believe in good customer service.
Oh, I wasn't gonna pay for it. I'd already.
Well, right. You already just wiped in your mind.
Yeah.
My mind is they're expecting that card and they want that money, and I'm expecting something for it.
Right.
My food.
Right.
Now everybody's eating, so I'm not able to eat with them. So now it's starting to make the whole night a little bit uncomfortable. I like the calmness that you have, because I have that calmness as well.
Right.
But when the waitress or waiter comes by, did you forget about me? And that's a polite way of me being, without me being rude, okay? You know me!
There's a lot that you don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, you
right?
know the situation.
See, the Lord prepares you for these things, right? Okay. What you don't know is I had a nice fat piece of chicken before I got to the restaurant.
Okay, so you wasn't worried about it.
I wasn't worried about it.
Now, see, I've been hungry, but my stomach would have been grumbling.
But
stop.
But the other half was, when they brought the food out, I looked at everybody's plate and was like, well, it don't look too good anyway. Right? But listen, he prepared me to keep my mouth closed. Right? He prepared me to let his work be done. And when they finally brought me my food out, it was fresh. You could see that it was a fresh plate of food. Right. It wasn't, it had been something that had been there in the kitchen for a few hours, So maybe that's what I had to wait on, was the new preparation, the fresh rice and the fresh beans that night,
Because I probably got something somebody stepped on. Because, once you act a fool, you don't know what that cook back there doing.
Yeah,
so I tried my best not to say too much.
That's why you don't want to act.
That's why I say calm it down. But I'm being honest with you.
On how to remain calm, right?
I be trying. I'm still praying.
Listen, and this is kind of our quote for the week. So we got a quote for the day, our quote for the week. And basically the quote for the week is simply that the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. When Barb asked me to speak on this, the only thing I could think of is that I know that I have no power. Right? All of my power resides in his hands. And so I have given him full access to do what he needs to do in my life to make sure that my walk is always on point, my path is clean and pure and whole, and I'm full of fruit and surplus and all that good stuff. See, when you start worrying and you start doubting and you start fearing, I know people, you can't see this, but parts of your spirit, the door shuts. It shuts so tight that the Lord can't send the blessings into your spirit, from his spirit into your spirit, which is really one spirit, but he can't move that love. He can't move that blessing that he has for you if you are wound so tight. Your spirit has to be open and available to the fruits of the Spirit. And, you know, you just can't be in control of anything. So let God be in control. And that's where my peace comes from, right? And it transcends all understanding, because sometimes I can stand in a moment of extreme, you know, nonsense going on in the world, but I can stand there so calmly and just ask myself, like, okay, Lord, what's going on? What do I need to do next? I know nothing's going to hurt or harm me, so what would you have me to do? And he'll always direct my path. He'll always say, well, you need to say something this time, you need to be quiet this time, you need to do something, you don't need to do something. He'll lead my path. So it is just so imperative, folks, that you stop living according to your own power and according to your own understanding. You got to live according to the higher power's understanding, because there was a plan for you. I mean, when you planted that rose bush in your backyard, you had a plan for that rose bush. It was going to be the flowers at your grandmother's 50th anniversary or whatever the case may be. You had plans for that seed that you planted. He has plans for you, and you need not worry about what's going to happen. You see, you need to just have that. It's not easy. I'm not going to say that it's easy. It takes years of training. It takes, I don't know, it takes spending a lot of quiet time and, you know, really knowing who the Lord is. But I promise you, folks, there's a life that is filled with what I call nirvana. It is filled with just surprise blessings over and over and over and over, if you will open the door to allowing the peace of God in your heart and your mind.
Well, I'm glad I can tell you, Kraft, because that's why you next to me, bro, because I be needing you, because my life ain't like that. My life jacked up. I be needing you.
Don't speak that word, man. See, we going to start right there.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. The words are just like Latiki. You know what I'm saying? We use jacked up words, because some things are jacked up. But it's getting better, and the reason why it's getting better is because I'm bringing more positive influence into my world. And then I'm dropping off some bad actions that wasn't getting me nowhere. And again, I'm always looking at my life, and remember, no one's perfect, but we can be a better us.
Absolutely.
Okay? I'm never trying to be Kraft. I'm never trying to be a Michael Jordan. I'm never trying to be another person. I'm always trying to be the best of me.
Right.
Because I have my own divine purpose. So that's one of the things I'm always aiming for, and that's why I said jacked up, because I seen some of my own actions, and I wasn't happy about it. So guess what? I have to make change.
Absolutely.
But I have to talk to you too, because the Lord knows you spiritual. I be needing it, boy. I'm telling you now. Woo, Jay be having some issues.
Is that right? Matter of fact, we want to talk about some of your issues tonight.
You know something? I knew you was going to have some fun with this.
Yes.
But I ain't like this time.
Folks, we have got a show lined up for you tonight. One of my favorite kind of shows. Tonight, let's talk about the life of a single person. Dating, success, and lifestyle. What kind of life do people live who aren't in love or married?
Well, I guess I'm going to be on the chop block tonight.
I guess so.
But you is too. Oh, you was not going to drive that bus over me tonight.
Listen, I'm already resolved in my state. You know what I'm saying? I'll be happy to share my, share my place in the world, but I don't
feel nasty over here going to have to tell you some things.
Yeah. Well, my mind's open tonight. I'm not going to listen with any judgment, Jay. You got my attention.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, that sounds like some non-truth. Sound like Kraft about to give it to me. But hey, you know something? I'm going to give it to you honestly. Because you can't help if you can't be real about a situation. When I say real, it's not just speaking your mind, speaking totally honestly. For you can have a better picture of what I do. For you can point out some things that I might be able to see differently. And then I'll make change to my own life. So it's not you changing me. It's me changing me because of the things that I wasn't recognizing what I was doing.
And listen, you know what's interesting about that? The very first time Jay and I attended a men's meeting. Jay does a men's meeting, have for the last 5 or 6 years, every Wednesday night. And the first time he let me participate in the men's meeting, I'm sitting around the table with all these very successful men, knowing who I am. They're all married with children and homes and, that lifestyle. And I started expressing myself about my ex-wife and what she did to me and how I feel now and, how I manage my life. And they immediately started to tear me down. I spent 2 hours defending my position, and I knew how I felt, and I had made up my mind 30 times. But I was convicted that night, and it took those guys to open me up that I could still be dealing with some old pains and some old hurts. And I'm okay with that. I just ain't going to admit it to nobody but myself. So there can be a lot of good that come out of these discussions, and you folks will see.
Talking about it, brother. See, you know why you coughed up like that? See how you choking like that?
Why is that?
TK ain't on the line. That choked up when she ain't around.
That would be one good reason.
You know, it's like that sometimes, bro, when you gotta go through some things. I'm just trying to tell you, bro.
Yeah.
Choked up over them dang on women. You need to stop that crap.
Not me anymore, baby.
Yeah, I know, man. You're on that divine order. There you go. Come up below him there.
What that's about. I do know what it's about, but I just can't say what it's about.
I guess since TK ain't gonna be on the line, I guess I'm gonna go into her place.
Okay.
Let's talk about some things.
Okay. What you got on?
Jay gonna throw out some things tonight. I got some issues. Let's talk about this. Well, we're gonna hold the same thing off a little bit. Let's hold that off. Okay. Let's talk about some of the things that possibly women want to know more about. And one of them asked me about dating and being single. They also asked me about, why do men feel like they gotta have more than one person? Why they gotta date multiple? Okay.
That's an interesting question.
And when they phrased this to me, I was telling them that, a lot of times it's wise to date and get a better opinion of yourself, but know yourself first. If you're not comfortable with yourself and knowing exactly what you want, watch dating somebody all out the box when you ain't even close to yourself. I always say, take some time to yourself and know yourself quite wisely. That way, when you sitting with somebody, you can experience a lot and y'all can grow. It's a compromise when it comes to dating and in a relationship anyway. And if you compromise too much, it makes it feel like it's a bad relationship. I really feel like if you're a positive person and you got a lot to bring to the table and it don't work out, y'all both grew. But if you give so much and you try to bring and elevate somebody, it gets to be offensive. Okay? A lot of times nobody want a father. I want a man. Right. And if you got to constantly raise somebody, okay, they're not going to look at you the same. But a lot of times when you got that age difference, you're a little bit wiser. Right. And sometimes it's not always age, because maturity happens differently. Yeah, so if you're more mature and you're on top of game, that person is party hardy, they doing their thing, it makes it difficult. So my whole thing is align yourself with a person that can understand you, not necessarily a person that's perfect for you, but that can understand you and respect what you're trying to do. Right. Because if they don't see it and they ain't feeling it, it's going to cause a lot of resistance. And I like to say that resistance, no compromise at that point. Yeah. It's just a bad relationship. And compromise is really giving up for a person that you really care for. Right. There's not a win, okay? I like to say I like a good deal, where I compromise, she compromise, and then we're doing it for the bettering of us. It's a good deal. I can roll with that. So if we don't make it, I'm going to be upset. That's feelings and emotions. I got that. Right. But at the end of the day, we both grew together. And even though we go our own way, we ain't put each other down. Where I didn't down your dreams, I didn't kill any of your thoughts of you being successful. Mm-hmm. It was like I bred you, I watered you, and you grew to be this beautiful person. Even away from me, you still that beautiful person that I added value to. Mm-hmm. I can walk away feeling good. But when you pull a life out of somebody, and you leave it wilted, yeah, she wasn't going to be nothing, no way. No, you the one ain't really nothing. Because you're robbing and you're stealing. Yeah, it catches back up to you. Yeah. So we have to watch what we do, but a lot of time is, no, she didn't really want to pour into me because you just robbed everything out of her. Mm-hmm. No nutrients is left. Right. That's robbery. And you, oh, no, I ain't robbing nothing. She gave it all. She gave because she poured into what she believed was a future. It should be poured back evenly. It should be on good fertile ground. Right. No, you just fertilize yourself. And that's why I said sometimes we get selfish.
And you know what, Jay? I I have to say that that is the attitude of a lot of men, and I'm not proud of that, you know. But
No.
there are men who will, you know, take advantage of a woman. Then he's not having sex by himself; he's having sex with her. Right? You know, it's 50-50. Everybody's in on the equation. But I think he might know there's less future there than she might know. You know, maybe he's already decided that he's just gonna spend some time with her and see, and you know, while he's waiting on somebody else perhaps to get their game together. I'm a big proponent of protecting women's hearts, and you know, I think that's the difference between the little boys and the big boys. The big boys oftentimes don't play those games, but it don't mean that a man's not gonna be a man. You know, men oftentimes separate those two. They separate sex from the relationship sometimes. You know?
Okay.
So you trying to keep quiet on me?
Hey, I'm gonna let you do this
I
one.
thought you brought this subject
I
up.
brought it up, but I spoke on it already. I tell you what, let's get a female point of view. We got Barbara on the line. Barb.
Barb, you on the line?
Okay. Well, come on, girl, speak up there. You know, I hear you. We need to hear your voice. You a female. We need a female point of view here, sister girl.
I'm sort of like crap. If a man is, as you said, dating, but he feels as though that they're not going any farther, he needs to have a talk with his, because we need to sit and communicate with her, but, you know, we can only be friends and this is as far as it's going. Instead of her feeling as though there's more to the relationship than what it is. That's my point of view.
Okay, now
Because you can stop all that confusion of her feeling though they have something and they don't, and her feelings get into it, and then like Kraft said, her feelings get hurt. And nobody wants to get hurt if you go ahead and have that conversation that I thought maybe it could be something, but it's not. We can only be friends, and you know, you go your way and she go your way, and y'all continue being friends, that's fine.
Now, I like that. I gotta jump in on this. You know I gotta have this one.
Go ahead.
Because I get my behind handed to me all the time because I didn't want to be in a monogamous relationship for a minute because I've been in one so many times in the past. So I just wanted to date and get myself together because I had my focus on my business more so than just my dating life or my relationship life, because that's why I speak on this so much, because I've been through so much. And when I mentioned that I just want to be in a non-monogamous relationship, I just want to date. And I went out with a lot of different people, and they see something in me. They want to sway me in another way. And I love to sway because I like the monogamous relationship. One-on-one is fine with me. Yeah. It's just, at this time, I want to pour more into what my dreams and my passion and my purpose is than just getting into a relationship, because I wasn't happy with myself for a while. Okay. Now that I'm just getting into it, I'm a little wild now. Because of the happiness is not about a person. It's not about me getting it from somebody else. It was all about me. Now that I know what's in me and what's they seen in me, I pour more out of me. Now it's like I'm a beast and I'm loving it. Okay. But I don't want to dictate and no. This is to be spread. This is this mad love. It ain't like I just want to spread it to everybody, be with everybody. No, I want to talk to people in an encouraging way because I know what you went through. I feel like I can lead better now than before. I was in the dark. Right. Now that he shed light on my life, I feel convicted to tell people about how they live and what they live from where I live. Right. Not saying that I'm judging anyone. I'm talking from me. So when somebody's like, oh, you need to be in a non-relationship, just be with one. I feel you. I'm getting there. But don't rush me, because if you rush me, and if I get in one, and I turn around, that person don't make me happy, I'm gonna go back to my old ways. Okay? That's just a person of habit. Okay. But if hold on, before you talk, man, hold on, don't be rude. Let a person get it out and make that decision for himself. He don't tend to go back. Because once I make that decision, I made it for me. I didn't make it for another person. And I made decisions off other people as a compromise. And I felt I over-compromised. And it was a bad decision. And I regret it. I don't like living in regret. I like living life for purpose.
Okay.
Purpose don't mean I give it all up and then I wonder what I get. I should be getting as I give up because I'm giving up to nurture and grow, not just to make another person happy and then I live miserable. I done that. And my whole thing is you're going to give up some happiness for a person. That's automatic sometimes.
Right.
But guess what? It can be re-nurtured and you can be happy together. Understandably where you at.
Excuse me.
But again, you have to make sure you align correctly. And when you're ready, you're ready. But don't just get ready and say you're ready and you're not. Not to make somebody else happy. That right there is a false reality.
Let's hear from you, Barbara. What did you want to say?
I understand. Self is first. You have to get yourself together before you can love anybody else or be with anybody else. But dating, and as you're saying, talk to people to see how their different lifestyle is different. If you want to date someone, I think you should at least say that to them first. Don't wait 2-3 months later and say, well, we're dating. Say that from the beginning. Is it all right that we date and see how it goes? Don't wait 2-3 months later and say, well, you know, I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. I just want to be single and date other people.
See,
You have to give that person
I hear you
before
both.
see if they're okay with that or not.
Yeah, I hear you both defending your own positions. And there's nothing wrong with either of those arguments. Both of those arguments are exactly right for each of you. Right? So it's like, here's how I defend my position on the subject of being single, or here's how I defend my position on the subject of you dating me. We need to have a conversation right out front. You want to set some rules, and I get all of that. And that's what we're talking about tonight.
It's not happening.
The life of a single person.
Come on now!
Right? Because if you are talking and if you are dating, then more than likely, the two of you are single. Right?
Yeah.
So, I guess there could be some assumptions in
Well,
that
yeah,
equation.
you got that other. Yeah,
But you're both living single lives, and it is difficult to give up part of yourself. That's what it takes in order to be in a relationship. You have to give up your way, your idea, your hour, whatever the case may be. And as a single person, you don't have to do any of that. And that's not necessarily, you know, love has to take over for you willing to give that up. Right?
Well, there you go.
For both sides.
You gotta give up some love.
Yeah, I mean,
Love Jones or whatever. We gonna get that on the second hand. We gotta go to break, Crab.
Is it right time?
Yeah, we gotta go to break. We gotta get Jeffrey on, get Jeffrey's point of view. We gotta get Jeffrey up next. Bob, we're gonna bring you right back right after Jeffrey real quick. And we gonna continue this. Because again, we got more to go when it comes to this. But we got the smooth craftmatic that's gonna take us. Sorry for the little break in the Facebook for a second and a half there. Yeah, we have to make some adjustments, but guess what? That's what we do. Craftmatic on the rules is still doing his thing like he always do, yes?
Always,
Good
baby.
Jesus, what? My man! And guess who we got on the line? That man fought the traffic, the ice, the rain, the snow. We got Jeffrey on the line. Jeffrey! Jeffrey!
Brother Jay, how's it going, man?
Hey, man, it's going excellent, man. Through all the weather, through all the times, all I can tell you is I'm blessed. I'm happy. And how are you?
I'm doing well, Brother Kraft. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. And yourself?
Oh, man, I tell you what, it's been a long day. Long day. It's been a cold day. It's been a long day.
Yes, sir.
All type of stuff been going on. But we persevered. We're hanging in there, and you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
It's time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why you might be single. But before I get to that, here is my disclaimer. Now, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes. Walk around in them because you're about to learn something tonight. Now, ladies, you go first.
Okay.
Ladies, you might be single because your love muscle is weak. This is one of my favorite reasons to say what I tell women why they might be single. Your love muscle might be weak. Now, I want you to understand something, lady, what I mean by love muscle.
Please.
That love muscle is the thing that you work on us, that you put on us, that actually seduces us. Don't get it twisted. That thing you walk around with you, that cookie, that don't necessarily seduce us.
Right.
What seduces us is your power to draw us into you that makes us want to perform for you outside of the bedroom.
Yes.
I need you to feel me, ladies. You starting to act like men. Just want to hit it and quit it. You starting to act like men. And you can just run the gamut, just get all the sausage you want and think that's going to be good for you. You starting to act like men by emulating some of the worst attributes of men. And then you wonder why your list is so long, but you so damn single.
Ouch, you wow, wow, wow.
Right.
Didn't see that one coming.
But-
Jeffrey had a hard day.
If I remember correctly, the last time, or actually I think the first time that you introduced the love muscle was when you were talking about what the side chick has that the main chick doesn't have. The side chick has, you know, what's the word you use? She takes advantage of her love muscle or something like that.
Man, listen, that side chick got so many things she does right when it comes to that love muscle. See, what happens is, ladies, I need y'all to understand. I'm going to give y'all a little extra, on this topic right here. That side chick don't come with no problems. That side chick don't come with no attitude unnecessarily. That side chick don't come with any disruption to his masculinity. But that side chick does, and she finds a way to encourage him with her love muscle, her power of seduction.
Yes.
And that's what pulls him away from you, that plus your uncontrollable mouth. So what happens is, when a man has a side chick, ladies, I need you to send that woman a thank you note. Because without that side chick, he probably would have left your ass all way. But that side chick allows him to deal with your ass. So you send that side chick a damn thank you note and be happy that man ain't going nowhere with your single ass.
Can we please drop the mic?
He got it.
There it
He
is.
got it.
Just drop the mic, boy.
He got it.
The words I was looking for is the power of seduction. The power of seduction. My friend Jeffrey, I mean, listen, we can go on with that one for a long while, man. We better get off of the women for a little
He got my
while.
eyes watering.
I'm bracing myself for number 2, but go ahead and put it on us, Jeffrey.
All right, now fellas, don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook.
Right?
Brothers, you are next.
Uh-oh.
Now, man, you might be single because you're looking to be babied in the relationship. And I don't mean baby like you my baby, you my boo thing, you my man thing. I'm talking about you looking for a mother figure.
Oh.
Not a helpmeet. Not a wife. Not a lover. You're looking for a mother figure. Somebody that allows you to sit home who takes care of your ass. Somebody who goes out and gets the bacon, brings it home and cooks it, and feeds it to you on a fork. While you sit down like a young man, like a young child being catered to by his mama. I need you to understand it. There's nothing wrong with adoring your mother, with being treated well by your mother. But I'll tell you, some mothers have ruined men for women. They ruined them, they spoiled them, they made them so they've been on the tit so hard that they have been ruined for a woman.
Yes.
Now, fellas, I need you to understand something. At some point, you got to get out your mother's house. You got to get out your father's house. You got to get out metaphorically, but you also got to get out physically. That includes being a mama's boy. Because what happens when a grown woman walks up to a grown boy, Either she's going to settle for that because she gets to control and manipulate you, or she's going to leave you be. And most women are going to leave you be
Yes.
because they don't have time to raise somebody else's child.
Right.
I don't care how you look. I don't care what you do. Get your ass out your mama's house.
Right.
You to get into your own house.
Right.
Stand up and watch. Then women won't be leaving your ass single.
Hey, I got an audience that got that look on the face like, yeah, that's true.
I mean, listen,
Hey, I agree. I agree.
Absolutely, I agree.
I agree.
I mean, what can we say? I don't necessarily feel convicted because I like to take care of a home, and even when I had a family, I took care of my home. I didn't expect my wife to do anything but show me love, the love of a wife. And, you know, that means cooking, that means helping with the laundry, that means, yeah, you do the yards and make sure the yards be nice, better than the neighbors. You know, don't have to tell you to take out the trash. Don't have to tell you when the child's doctor's appointment or the PTA meetings. Be a man, right? That's all we're asking. And that may not be easy for someone who grew up under a real nurturing, an extremely nurturing and over-nurturing mother. And we do know they exist. Yes. They bake cookies for their 30-year-old son to take to work, you know what I mean? So we have seen them. We have seen them before. You know, I oftentimes wonder how some of the men, you know, in my sphere of influence at work, etc., I'm like, how can you live life when your wife does like everything for you? Like, you know, she pairs your socks together and, you know, she plans the trips and she cooks the food and she does the groceries and all you do is just work and go home. I don't understand that, you know? And I imagine those guys probably live some dusty lives without their wives.
Wow.
We'll say Dusty will be a good
Wow. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I
Compared to after Jeffrey just slapped the taste out of everybody's mouth. That was nice.
I mean, you know, it needed to be said. It needed to be said. There's no room for little boys in grown women's houses.
There it
you know what I mean? So, point well taken, Jeffrey.
All right.
Keep moving, baby.
Do it together. How
All right,
about
now,
this?
no. Y'all know, like I know, that the last couple of days has been filled with snow in Atlanta, and that's not a recipe that we like here in Atlanta. So I was leaving my house, going down to my job with ice and snow on the road, and I was walking out, pulled out the garage and said, dang, I forgot my gloves. And I went ahead and drove to work anyway. Lo and behold, on my way home, I had a flat tire.
Oh.
So when I got this flat tire, I had to make sure I pulled to an area in the side of a gas station that didn't have no ice on it. So my car wouldn't slide when I jacked it up.
Okay.
So I'm jacking my car up now, and the damn tire iron fell down into some water that was just right there by the car from the snow that had melted.
Right.
I had to reach my hand down into it and pick up this wet piece of metal in 20-something degree weather with a windshield that was making it feel like it was like 14 degrees.
Right.
My hand started to hurt.
Right.
Because the ice or the water on my hand started to freeze. I'm not joking. So I had to get in the car and warm my hands up. Got back out, changed the tire a little bit, get back and warm my hands up. I had to follow that. It took me about 8 minutes to change the tire. They don't take that damn long to change the tire.
Right.
You know, but I got it done. I put everything in the trunk and I went on about my way. Now here's why I'm saying this. That morning, I said to myself, I need to get my gloves. But instead of listening to my right mind, I went ahead and got in my car anyway. Lo and behold, I needed my gloves that day.
Right.
Every time you make a step, you hear your right mind telling you what to do.
Right.
It's just a matter of you listening to that right mind or you not listening to it. Not listening to your right mind is a recipe for disaster.
Right.
So men and women, don't think you don't hear your right mind when it comes to how to treat your man, or when it comes to how to treat your woman, or how you should say something to your man, or how you should say something to your woman. Your right mind always says, don't say it that way, baby. Say it like this.
Right.
But your ass don't say it how you want to.
Right.
You just don't put it on out there. Damn the repercussions. Now, what we have to do now, we have to start listening to our right mind when we talk to each other. Because our right mind never leads us wrong. Our right mind, and that's the godliness in us. That's that spirituality that we have to be in tune with so that our decision-making is sound decision-making. Women, you call it intuition.
Yes.
Y'all call it intuition. Y'all trust that. Man, what we have to come to understand is it's just our masculine energy guiding us in righteousness.
Yes.
We got to listen to that too. So when we start listening to our right mind, what happens is we ain't got to worry about no damn tired iron that's cold as hell in Atlanta in 17-degree weather because you left your gloves in the house trying to be masculine. Oh, it is that cold. I was just hitting some crazy men 10 years tired to call the sound of the damn gas station yesterday like I was.
Right.
Listen to your right mind and it won't lead you wrong. That's all I got.
Ain't no more to say. Good Lord. Really? I told you Jerry had it wrong.
Listen, that's another one of those magic seed moments. Listening to your right mind. And we all hear a voice talking to us. We all hear the voice saying, no, go away, say something, do something, don't do something. We all hear it, but are you listening to it? And that's a contention to wake up, right? We have to wake up to what our right mind is saying, because it is speaking to us, most certainly. But if you don't listen to it, you're going to have an experience exactly like what Jeffrey said. When it's time to leave that job, and the Lord or that right mind voice is saying, hey, you worn out your welcome here, you got all you can get, it's time to go. And you stick around because you're afraid to move, or you're afraid to leave, or you're afraid of change, all you're going to do is start to experience all those calamities. People are going to judge your work. They're going to misjudge you as a person. You're going to wind up being late to work, and you ain't been late in 10 years. But these things will start to happen when you don't listen to your right mind. And oftentimes, you can pay attention to the circumstance and determine if you listen to your right mind. Because if there's turmoil and anxiety and troubles, you probably did not listen to your right mind. You probably didn't pay attention when it said, hey, why don't you get off this exit and then you can take the short road over rather than getting off at the exit right at the place you want to get to. I mean, you know, you got to find a way to pay attention to that still small voice, and I don't think Jeffrey said it can say it any better than
he said it perfectly.
Yeah.
All right, we got to go to break.
All
so
right.
Again, we appreciate y'all for staying tuned. And again, if y'all got comments on the show and you want to make some remarks on Facebook, feel free. And again, it's on the popular because again, me and Craft are about to have some serious fun on this second segment.
Yeah, we about to go in. Listen, any parting words for us, Brother Jeffrey?
Well, no, I tell you, it's just a blessing to be able to join the show and spend some time with you fellas. So I appreciate that. And I'm good, man. Looking forward to what's coming up next.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be a dynamic year for all of us, man. And we appreciate you being a part of the show. You bring so much value. And I couldn't even imagine the show without you. So you folks stay tuned. Jeffrey's going to be with us next week. And we got more Bar Talk with Jay with you for tonight.
Talk with Jay, yeah, we had to get a little live with it. Crab Medic got them smooth sounds for the lady.
I'm going in. The next 3 breaks is going to have to try.
All right, we back. You see, we still got Barb on the line. Barb, you still with us?
I'm still with you.
All right, see what I'm talking about, man? We holding on to folks.
Well, listen, and Barb has properly prepared us for tonight's show. I'm going to share some of the benefits of being single. And in order to overcome the benefits, something has to be better than the benefits in order for you to give up the benefits and then go into a relationship. Would you agree with that, Jay?
Okay, I'm listening to you. Let's go with.
Okay. Benefits of being single.
Benefits. I don't know all about the benefits.
She says here, being the best person you can be. Encouraging yourself. Being an optimist. Surrounding yourself with supportive people. She said, considering the health benefits, I guess there could be a little less stress if you were single.
I don't know about that. An ATM.
Would there be financial benefits?
I ain't seen to me financial. It costs me. Dating is expensive.
Yeah, dating is expensive,
It's kinda
and
expensive.
you have a tendency to save more and accomplish more when you're with somebody.
Yeah. In more of a monogamous relationship, you it's a lot less.
And-
It costs, brother, when you got multiple.
Yeah.
This
Now,
ain't.
now listen to this statistic.
Mhm.
Tell me what you think about this. Statistics suggest that married folk are more successful than single folk. Why is that? What is that? What is that all about?
I'm gonna go back with that inner strength because again, I think that right there is gonna be a choice on a person because
I can't say that.
I would say if you're a single person and you have a path,
But if they
purpose,
just
or a passion, you can be successful by yourself. You gotta understand where you're going before you just want to add another, because she can add value and she can take you to that next level, but you still gotta have divine purpose for yourself. So I like to say I've been very successful with and without.
Okay.
But I had to find it within me because she seen it in me, and that's why she stuck by me. And that's what helped fuel me and bring things out of me. Because a lot of times I was sleepwalking.
Now see, in my world, I don't think I have been as successful as I was when I was married since I've been single. I've been very successful, but I was on top of my game when I was married.
And she added that value to keep you there.
And that potentially is why the statistic is suggesting this, that, you know, maybe two is better than one.
Two can be when you work as a unit.
When you can work as
a unit.
Right.
But again, when you're starting to go on your own different ways, it's a lot of compromise.
Yeah, and so when you think about the statistics, it leads me to think that there are a lot of people who probably will not reach their potential unless they have a significant other. And that's a big issue.
Hold on, I got Phil in the building again. That's right, y'all. I know y'all wasn't expecting this. I got a surprise for all the people. I didn't think y'all knew this, but we got Philemon in the building. And Brother Phil feels differently about what our topic's about.
He's actually pretty passionate on
He's very passionate. He's walking around patting, mad.
Listen, disturbing the camera, everything.
I mean, he over there pushing stuff down.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you ain't tearing up my house, player. Phil, you need to get on over here and get on the mic.
Would you come over here and join us for a second? We really need to
Rob,
hear. Because listen,
Rob, turn up mic 3.
here's what's most interesting about having Phil to come to the mic.
Look at him come over here all smooth with that scarlet like Fred said. Go right there.
Phil is a married man. And so he'll be the only married man to be able to speak on this subject tonight. And let's make sure we got sound check. We need to speak right into the mic. This will be recorded to be heard for hundreds of years in the future. And so,
you on, bro. Don't look like that. I mean, go ahead, Lamont. Let the world hear you, man. We'll play.
so to just get right to the point.
You know I don't like you, right?
You know, I ain't never want you like me. You know, man. We don't roll like that. It's ATL players. We don't like me.
What's on your mind, G?
I don't have anything on my mind at
No?
all.
Oh, well, when you was pushing things over. You was pushing my cameraman over, talking all that.
On the side, man?
Yeah, push my son over. Son just got up. I'm just saying.
I mean, so the last statement that I made, and we take dialogue any way you guys would like, is that there are many people, based on the statistics, that married people are more successful, or the most successful. That means there are many people who will not reach their potential unless they find Mr. and Mrs. Right. Go ahead.
How you feel about that? Talking to the mic, sir.
Well, that could go either direction, and if you're thinking about, and you're only using stats and nothing more, nothing less, of course, the married people are going to outweigh the single people.
Right.
So, I mean, in a way, you can look at it as being biased.
What do you mean?
Because if your stats is based only on single people and only on married people, and you're not looking at what the couple had before, it's going to be biased, and it is biased.
Okay.
Because if you get two successful people, of course they're gonna knock stuff out the box. However, if you get one successful person and then you get one person that's not successful, that's pretty much gonna be a little stagnant marriage for a minute.
Well, you know, that's interesting you say that, because the marriages that we all grew up on are the marriages where mom would stay home and dad was go out and make the money, and that was how a relationship was to roll, right? Until, you know, the world went to war and all the men got killed in the war and went to jail, and women had to take on a new level of strength and a new level of responsibility. Mm-hmm. Hey, I mean, dynamics change.
Yeah, but you can go back in stats in regards to that, because I mean, back then, I mean, the only thing that you needed was a trade to be successful, period.
Okay.
So you're looking at two totally different industries.
Okay.
Like right now, you really don't need a trade to be successful. All you need is pretty much a good gift of gab, and have good core people around you.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can look at like high schools were taken care of back in the day. Everything that was in the high school was trade-based, and that was pretty much how everyone actually survived.
Okay.
Was by a trade.
Okay.
And if you're a carpenter, you're a plumber, you're a mechanic,
You do hair.
you do auto body,
Right.
that was all in high school.
Right.
You didn't have to go to college. You didn't need to go to college.
Right.
So with that dynamic in there, of course, that's what we were brought up with. But that's the industry that we came from.
I think it may have been error. Maybe that's the
I
right
don't
word.
think it was an error.
But think about it this way: that if the statistics are accurate, and you know, facts are relative. Facts are based on how you see them and who sees them and how long you see them and how many, you know, etc.
No, a fact is a fact.
No. Facts are relative. They're based on the
No.
observer. All fact is based on
Facts
the observer.
are facts.
No. Truth is truth.
No.
But
Truth.
facts are not
No.
truth.
Truth is relative.
No.
A fact is a fact.
No. What you consider a fact may not be my fact. Maybe maybe the truth, how you perceive it. See, a fact is based on the observer.
No, a fact.
All of
is
these
not
numbers,
based-
these statistics, they're based on the observer.
That doesn't mean it's a
Like we got a
fact.
battle.
Huh?
That doesn't mean it's a fact.
What is a
A
fact?
fact cannot be challenged. Period. Point blank.
No.
Truth
No.
can be challenged.
No.
That's just like religion.
Truth can't be
Rich-
challenged,
Yes, it can.
but facts can be challenged.
No, that's just like religion. You gonna tell me truth cannot be challenged?
Truth can't be challenged. Truth is truth.
Truth is your opinion of what truth is.
No.
A fact is what has been proven.
So,
Okay, so
I was about to, go ahead. I was about to.
all right, so fact. All right, let's take religion. We're gonna go off course just for a second.
Just
Okay.
not long.
Just
Not
for a
long.
second.
Okay.
Just for a second.
Okay.
You take religion. You take the Bible. Give me one artifact that has been proven and shown from the Bible, but yet and still everything from the ancient times, the pyramids, it's on display. Give me one thing that's been put on display that's from the Bible, that's relative, that's truth. That's all it is truth. It's not fact. We can prove that these people have been here because it's on display. You can't prove anyone from the Bible has been here.
That's very interesting.
Prove it.
That's very interesting.
It's a fact
So
that they have been here.
That's very interesting. It's the fact that those people have been here. I don't want to lose my train of thought on the conversation.
With you.
Let me just say it this way. Facts can change. The truth does not change.
The truth can change.
No.
Because Okay, let's bring it back to a relationship.
Peace.
Bring back to a relationship.
Let's bring it back to a relationship, right?
Okay.
Right.
All right. So you love this woman. You love. She's your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. You believe her with all your heart.
Right.
She tells you the truth, her truth. I have not cheated on you. I have not been with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
However, she comes up pregnant. And y'all been mad at each other. And y'all ain't been fucking.
Oh.
No, sorry. And she comes up pregnant. That's a fact. So you telling me what she just told you the truth was a fact?
No, she didn't tell me the truth.
Yes, she did. It was her truth.
No.
And to you, it was truth because you believed her.
No.
But the fact came about that she was pregnant,
Truth
and
is-
you know y'all have not been having a relationship.
Unchangeable. Facts change.
Oh,
Right? God is unchangeable, but the world changes. Right? That's the
No.
same thing.
that's a blind faith that you have.
See, I have studied for many years the word truth, and I have a very clear understanding of what I believe is the word truth.
I do too.
Okay, and so in my mind, facts are relative. Facts are worldly, right? But truth is absolute. It's divine.
The fact
Divinity is always the same, but the world's facts will always change. And so in the world, in the relative, in the world, we have to always identify the observer of the fact. Because when you see that, it may be one fact, but when I see it, it's a different fact, right? But in the realm of divinity, that all of those facts reveal one truth, right? It's like we all look at the sun through 6 billion eyes, right? Every one of us are right. The sun is divine. The sun is there. It's truth. But we all see it from different positions. We all will say it's bright today. It's not bright today. But the sun is the sun. It is the truth. The truth is that the sun is the sun.
Who is the son?
The sun? What?
Oh, Lord.
Are you trying to trip me up?
Yeah,
No, I'm
basically.
not trying to.
Who is the sun? You
Who's the
said,
son?
what is the sun?
Who is the son?
The son of man?
No, who is the son?
The sun is an object.
Is it really?
Oh, Lord, hold on.
Right? That's very important. I was trying to.
Yeah, wait,
I can't entertain that right now because we gotta
We gotta go to break real quick because y'all are taking this all around the world, but I love it. You know why?
It's good dialogue.
It's a dialogue that people don't understand, and you gotta sit around the table and understand. People have a different perspective.
That's the key. That's the key.
Everybody is not going to see things the same, and what we need to understand is be open-minded to a person that's willing to look at things differently. And if you look at things just one way, you can be blindsided. There's a lot of things out there, and it comes to reality, truth, and where you at. The number one thing, are you willing to be open-minded to hear something different? And that's what we're doing tonight. We're giving y'all a whole lot of stuff, and you got to be able to absorb it,
Right.
and it's not going to be easy. But the bottom line is, take the time to realize that people see things differently.
Right.
That's why when we sit here as three men, we can see things differently, and all our opinions count.
Right.
But are you willing to at least participate
Right.
and talk amongst each other without arguing? It's a debate. There's no argument.
Right.
We just don't see everything the same, but when we leave, we can have more conversation.
Yes.
That's what Bar Talk with Jay is all about.
Facts versus truth. Let's talk about that in the life of a single person.
Oh, you trying to call a whole nother show?
No.
Hey, we'll have it. We'll have it here all day, every day.
Right.
Craft man, give me some of that smooth music
I'm coming at
again,
you.
player. See, Craft is smooth tonight because TK wasn't on. You know what I'm saying? Right. We back with Bar Talk with Jay, and as always, man, we always debate it, we eat it. And I'm gonna tell you a quick sidebar. I had, Doc in the building, and she was able to give me a little insight. And she wanted me to let you both know, y'all both have great merits, and it goes both ways. And again, that's what I love about life is a lot of times everybody got to say who's right, who's wrong.
Right.
It's different points of view, and everybody need to get it out there because it can change.
Right.
She was mentioning to me about the planets, Pluto. They took it out, bringing it back in. Okay, so facts can change.
Yes,
okay,
it's there. No
So-
matter what we decide to
and
call
then
it.
all of a
it's
sudden
there.
they want to change it. So things can change, and we need to grasp that understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, and just like relationships change, points of view change, and that's why we having this conversation today, because people are having a hard time grasping what's going on in the world, and we want to make a better understanding to make people more comfortable about themselves. The world gonna be the world, okay? And you can't control everybody outside of you. But can you at least know you and understand your truth and your morals and what you stand for? Because without that, we're gonna have problems. Now, one person we excluded for a minute, we're gonna bring her back right now. We got Barbara still on the line. Barbara, what you got to say about this topic?
What do I have to say about the topic?
Yes, I mean, we care about what you got to say over there in Macon, Georgia. Yes, Macon, Georgia. In the building.
Well, I know this. We have fact and we have truth. That everyone in their lifetime has been hurt, that they have been through something traumatic. But it was a young lady that left a comment that she wanted to have someone that she can have their back, be there for them when their flaws, hers and theirs, which all young women would like that, young and old. But we have to deal with ourselves first. We have to put the hurt that we had before and put something in our soul. Think about us first. Then she has to deal with what children she had. And then put it in the hands of the Lord to let that person come into her life that she's looking for. Any one of us, not just her, everybody in the world. Have faith in the Lord. Pray about it. He will give you what you want. You just got to have faith, the strength, and the power.
And I'm going to jump in on that one real quick, because I heard a saying, on an airplane, the air mask drops down. And he always asks you, when that mask drops down, because the pressurizer in the plane drops, it automatically drops down, it tells you to put that mask on first, before you help even your child, okay? Because if you don't have what's in you first, you can't help nobody else. So take care of yourself. Get yourself right. Because a lot of times you jump into aid and you're not able and you're not equipped. So make sure you have the right things to add value to the ones that you're with. So again, if you're going to help and you don't put your own mask on, you're going to pass out before the person you even help. So now you're no help at all. So again, some things we got to get back to the basics. And that's taking care of ourselves and putting ourselves in positions of back to power.
Yeah, and I want to be a little critical here because I want us all to grow through this conversation. It seems like a single person would have a lot of time for self-growth and a lot of time for self-development and a lot of time for personal improvement. But I don't see that happening a lot.
You know something? You just...
Right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to tell you right now.
Listen,
I'm going to put that shoe on. I'm going to tell you right now, Cram.
The real truth is that it's not happening a lot. People aren't taking care of themselves until they got somebody to kind of hold them accountable. Right? We see it all the time, Jay. Let's not hide the truth, right? We all know single fellas who could be coming up, but they clubbing and they partying and they hanging out. They're doing a lot of stuff except the stuff that they're supposed to do to be building a future. We see it all the time.
That's subjective.
I'm suggesting it is subjective. It is subjective, but I'm just simply suggesting that there are people, once again, who are, who have all this free time. It's too much free time. It's too much. You know what I mean? Like, single life might not be the right thing for you. I'm trying to plant some good seeds here, right? Like, if you're wasting,
throw me under the bus.
You're wasting your money, and you're wasting your time, and you're wasting your life then you need to pair up with somebody who y'all can work together and build something for yourself.
Hey.
If you're not building nothing, and if you're single for 15, 20 years and you ain't got a monument to show for it, then you probably need to be with somebody even if they get on your nerves. And I'm just saying it like it is. I'm looking for human improvement. I'm looking for the best.
Well, you disagree
that people bring to the table.
Can you see the tire tracks on the back of my on my back? Did you done ran me over? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. I don't know what kind of vehicle you drive. It got to be a bus. Because I got some tracks. I feel on the back of my neck.
Good. And now you might get some medical attention. Now you might get somebody to help improve you. Now, I ain't saying you, Jay. Listen, Jay.
No, you saying me.
Jay,
I need
Jay, you got a full-time job.
Yes.
You own a company on the side.
Yes.
You take care of your mother. You have your family. You always with your family.
Yes.
Y'all got the most special times. You got, Jay, you do a lot as a single person. But I'm talking about a lot of people that we see who are wasting their lives. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that single life is all there is. I'm gonna tell you, the best life is the married life. You know what I mean? You can say whatever.
Preach it. Preach it.
But listen, a married man wouldn't agree with me.
He married.
I'm married and it's still subjective.
Okay.
I'm married.
You have to look from that side of the fence now, and I have to look from this side of the fence
No,
now.
I can look from both sides because I've been there.
I mean, I've been
single.
I've been
now
there
I'm
too.
married.
Okay.
So I can talk about when I was single, and I can talk about when I'm married.
And what was best?
So it's subjective.
What was the best life for you?
It's subjective.
I'm subjecting you to the question. What is the best life? What is the best life? Is it better? Was it better on the single side? Or was it better on the married side?
It depends on what you want and
I'm
what you're
asking
looking
you.
for.
I'm taking the world out of it. This is your opinion, your personal opinion. Single better, or do you appreciate the life of a married man better? You're gonna go to your grave with this answer because.
No, I ain't going to the grave with that answer. I'm gonna tell you, it's real simple.
I'm about to go viral.
It's real simple.
I'm listening.
What we got?
Sometimes.
Oh no! Now you thinking about the wifey now? Oh, you being real punk. You need to be the feel. I know you being a real punk.
Sometimes I lie to you now.
Okay, sometimes
Now I'm gonna tell you. When I was single, I ain't had no kids. I ain't had no responsibilities.
Okay.
Just me.
Right.
And I was having a ball.
Okay.
I didn't care about
A future.
now, don't get me wrong. Hey, when I was single, I had my house, the cars, and everything. So yeah, then it was cool. But I wasn't thinking about a legacy.
Okay. What?
Now.
Okay. I want to hear about that.
Now, because I was doing armed security and I was doing bodyguard work, and every time we went to work, we had to sign a life waiver. Now we made money, we made real good money. However, once I had a child, my priorities changed.
Okay.
Now that I am married and I have a child, well, actually I have 3 now. My priorities changed, so therefore my focus changed.
Would your priorities have changed?
No. If I didn't have kids,
Yeah.
no. No, I'm telling you.
Still be
that right
playing in the streets. Still be dancing in the streets.
Yes.
Man, we're trying to wake people up on this shit, man. We're trying to wake people up to go.
And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm waking you up.
You ain't waking me up.
Yes, I am. Because if you want to be real and you want to keep it,
I do.
keep it gutter and keep it 100,
I do.
this is what it is.
And listen.
I mean, you got to think about it. If you have someone that's out living their life, because it's their life. When they die, ain't nobody gonna get in their casket and go with them.
Right.
It's them.
Right.
So until your priorities change, and you have something that will make you change your mind in regards to how you're looking at your priorities, let them live their life.
See, my problem with that equation is something has to be introduced to make you do the right thing, to make you
No.
to
Hold
make
on.
you do life.
Whoa.
Hey, listen, man, this life isn't about a toy. This life is not toy.
Not
You know what I mean?
saying that.
We're here for a purpose.
Right.
We're here to make something happen. And you can
Just
if
because
your
that's your purpose, that's not my
son
purpose.
decides to play his life, That's cool.
Exactly.
But you know he got greatness in him. And he ain't got to have a woman to do that.
Doesn't make
But
a
something-
difference. It's his life.
It doesn't make a difference. That's purely relative.
No,
That's
it's his
subjective.
life. That's not subjective. That's his life.
But
It's not your life.
I know
Not
what
true.
you're,
We
I know
want
what
to.
you're saying, but you gotta stand
we
for something,
do want to
Phil.
live vicariously through our kids and want them to excel farther than we did. However, at the end of the day,
Just enjoy your life.
it's their life. It's their decision to make the best decisions or the worst decisions.
Listen, we're not taking any of those from them, but what we are attempting to do is to say, don't wait until something changes in your life that forces you to stand up and do something great for yourself or for your life. There's a lot of single people who are wildly successful, but there's a whole lot of them who are wasting time because they don't have a child to hold them accountable. They don't have a house to make them go to work every day.
Well, that's not true. You have some deadbeat dads out there and some deadbeat mothers out there.
We're trying to send an inspirational message for people to wake up that if you are single, it is not about just having fun. It's about making something happen. Make sure that you protect the last 20, 25 years of your life with a retirement plan. So you don't have to lean on nobody else, so they don't have to borrow money to bury you. Make sure you're doing something. We're talking about people who are, you and I know, a lot of
They
people,
don't care.
then they're a debt to society, bruh. That's what
You
they
know
become.
how many debts we pay for?
You sound like you're justifying debts.
No, I'm not justifying debts.
Okay, then people need to get up and do something.
If we want to talk about stats, we want to go back to stats.
Hold on. We're going to have to go to break real quick. We're going to have to go to break.
I like this dialogue.
Because this dialogue going to continue.
But this, yeah, is it break time already?
Yeah, man, it is break time.
Good.
It is one of them ones we're going to jump in real quick. I'm going to tell y'all, right now what I love about this dynamic, y'all need to stay tuned because the reason why I have to stop it right now because it's fueled up. And it's in a way that you got to be able to grasp this and open your mind up. Because I got two people that's greatly opinionated, but they got so much good stuff. If you're not paying attention, you're missing. This is not an argument. This is a debate of different spiritualities in a different way, where you have to be able to be understanding to yourself. And you got to find out where you fit. Now, when you fit, you might be able to choose sides, but hear both and figure out where you at. Because this whole conversation is to better you. If you don't better yourself, then you ain't listening for what we don't are. This is no play. This is to better you, to make the best you. Not you to be Phil, not for you to be Craftmatic. This is all about self-development.
Absolutely.
I started with Phil early on. Didn't want to listen to him because he's about crazy as all get out. And then I had my boy Craftmatic. Different points of view, but they both have value if you can understand them. Take the time to listen because there's no real wrongs here. It's all about reality. And again, I got Barbara on the line too. Barbara has her own facts as well. Not gonna leave out Macon, Georgia in the house. We got you, and we're going to break, and we'll be right back so we can get a wrap up.
And we are having a very interesting show tonight.
It's interesting, all right. Y'all going in, and this supposed to have been all about me, even though you ran a bus over my behind. Listen,
Why do you feel like that?
Man, you got me so good.
I'm
Crab.
listening. You ain't told me though.
Man, I ain't gonna even. Crab, when you drive
Some
a
people
bus,
just have words for you. They don't
No.
they really explain.
ain't no advice to give a person that was driving a bus that ran over you behind. You don't know what the heck you said. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Were you in the street, man, or were you on the
I'm
sidewalk?
gonna tell you right now. No, I was dead in the middle of the street.
Okay.
And with a reflective vest on, like a bad kid, and you still hit me. But you hit me to reality. Okay. A lot of times we do act reckless, and we out there, and we got to be in more divine order. And I won't say I've been reckless in some of the things I've been doing while I've been single, because I'll be honest with you, I got away from a monogamous relationship because, again, I started finding divine purpose. So my purpose was to show and getting some things in order after being through so much and just getting back in what I was already in. I took time for myself, and I tried to find my own happiness, okay? Because happiness starts with you first. Quit looking somewhere else, and that was my problem.
So
Let me break it down, baby.
Go ahead.
Because I'm going to let all y'all speak real quick, and we can bring it a round table. So after I stopped playing, and I started seeing what was in me, I started realizing what I cheated and what I need to be doing better. And then I started focusing, and I started putting plans in place once I got with you. And I started understanding about development and seeing things in ways that I didn't see before. And that's going to be your own self-development, and you got to make your own plan. Now, when I made this plan, it wasn't with anybody, but I will tell you, as I've been making this plan, I've been seeing people add value to me, and I want to add value back. I'm not trying to rob, I'm trying to gain. I'm trying to gain momentum and strength, because again, this world is going on, and I was living a lie myself. My truth was not always my truth. It changed because my reality changed. When I started getting soul fed compared to worldly fed. I worldly lived for a long time.
Oh.
And when I started getting soul fed, I started seeing my reality and my truth change in front of my own eyes. I found out some things are not truths. Okay? There was a reality check. And then I started putting facts behind some things, and then facts change. World, truth, a lot of things change, but your morals, your standards, you need to hold on to some things, or you will lose all things. And now that I grab hold to my morals, my values, and things that I'm not willing to just let go, I have a foundation. Now I have support to hold a lot more than I used to ever be able to support. And then I learned balance, okay? It's like a ship. You put too much on one side, you will tip over. But if you got a ship balanced correctly, it can hold a load that you would never imagine. You gotta know you to know what you support and know what you do. It takes time. It's development. It's like watching my own child. He puts on so much weight, he towels back and forth all day long because he got to learn that balance. That balance got to be taught other than me. That's why you are in my life, because you talk to him. Phil is in my life because Phil talked to him. I talked to Phil's daughter because Lord knows she needs talking to. Okay? But they all going to be all right because we are a tribe. It goes back to spiritualness. It takes a tribe, and quit trying to do it all yourself. It takes each other to feed each other and care for one another. And that is what the show is all about, bringing people together to love and nurture in a way that we add value, not rob and steal, because we have a lot to give, but we can't trust. We too scared to lose. But sometimes we got to be more open to good people, because if I never trust Craftmatic, he wouldn't be with me today. Phil, well, Phil's special. I mean, that one is special. He came along with Tone, and we didn't know that one's going to make it. And been the strongest brother ever since, because I didn't judge him, but I judged him. And he's crying, he's getting over somebody out, and he kept whining. And I was like, yeah, listen, why you bring this stray cat? You know, you bring this stray cat in.
Facts change.
16
Yeah,
years
16
ago.
years
We're bringing up old stuff.
Yeah, you bring
Old stuff.
I mean, because you came in, you ain't come in strong. He ain't come in. But let me tell you something.
Let's close this.
Hold
up.
on, I'm gonna bring it like this though. I gotta give respect to him because I brought him in kind of weak like. But I'm gonna tell you, this has been a very strong brother spiritually that I took as a weak brother. But what I didn't know is he's going through something, and I'm somewhat judgmental because my brother brought him in like, bro, brought strong people. When I found out, he got more strength than him, and he's a good dude, and I misjudged, and I'm willing to admit it, you know, and that's something people don't do. You know, I seen him as a person that, you know, I can't, I'm glad you brought him because I wouldn't have did it. And next thing I know, he's a dude that I hung out with separately from my brother, I work with, and I appreciate. And I'm so sorry that I looked at you in a way that I shouldn't. And that's what life is about, is looking at somebody, you can't judge them. And you can be so wrong. And I was so wrong about you. And I can tell the world.
Did the same thing about you.
Well, that's fine. And you probably wasn't wrong about it. I was. I can't say you was, but because our truths are different. But what I will say, all day long, I appreciate each and every one of y'all because y'all bring something to my life that I appreciate. And that is your own opinion. It's not because you base your life on me or I base my life on you. But y'all will give me your truth. The problem is most people ain't being honest. And one thing I will say, these two brothers have brought me reality from what they see of me and what they see of life, where I can choose to live my life in a better way. Go ahead, Kraft Man.
Well, I just want to, my goal for this show was that single people would somehow or another find some seeds of inspiration to be greater as single people. We all know that single people have all of their time, they have all of their own money, they can do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. Excuse me. But too much freedom are shackles for anybody. And if it takes a major life event for you to wake up to your greatest possibility, then Phil and I have just come into agreement during the break that you haven't been, or I say, you've been exposed to an idea that gives you the potential to be great, but you haven't used it yet. We call that exposure consciousness. And so I think the deciding factor of whether I'm going to live a single life or I would rather live a married life oftentimes is based on my exposure. If I was raised under two loving parents and they got along well and took trips and all that stuff, that's my image of what life should look like. And so I long to have that same image in my life. I long to have that special someone in my life. My only objective in this whole conversation was to make sure that you check yourself, folks. Just check yourself. If you have been hanging out, dating for 20 years, I'm pretty sure you may have missed one or two potential Mrs. Rights. And I don't want you to have to be exposed to a health issue or some other major calamity in life before you wake up to the possibility of what greatness is in this world. I believe that greatness is having that special someone in your life. It may not be for you. It may not be right at this time. But for me, I'm like, my next level of evolution, my greatness upon greatness is having that significant other who I'm going to spend the next 30, 40, 50 years with. I'm not talking about a job that I can make $100,000. I'm talking about a life partner that I can spend the next 40, 50 years with. That's important to me. The point is you got to get up and make something happen in this life. Nothing is going to just come to you. Whether you're married or whether you're single, you still got to go to work every day. It just turns out that married folk might hold each other a little more accountable for going to work. And single folk may not be held as accountable for how they spend their money, how they spend their time, and years can fall off. We've seen it before. Many years fall off, right? So I'm just hoping that you were able to get something out of this. Any parting words for us tonight?
Live your life.
Live your
Enjoy
life.
it to the fullest.
Yeah. You know, I want to ask a question. Jim, you said something.
Wait,
Go ahead.
before I do that, Barbara, you still on? You got any closing words before Craft Matter go back to me? You got any closing words?
What I would like to say, and so I'm a part of one process work where it's to motivate, inspire, to make sure that all the community and that our own understand that we're working together as a team to give opinions and suggestions, not going around trying to tell you what to do in your household, but just so you can listen and come up with your own ways of how you want to live your life or whatever. But it's nice to want to have that significant other, like Craft said, which will be happening to me within the next 6 months. I'm not going to stay single for all my life. Just getting bored. And like you said, Craft, it's a waste of time, but it has been happening. You need to.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.